we are in the process of amending or kind of repealing the Prevention of Terrorism Act. Prevention of Terrorism Act have been there since 1979. There had been so much of discussion that it need to be changed. It was amended last year. In view of the amendment, we have allowed people to come to courts after 1 year and seek bail. As a result of a combination of these things, I don't think a single person is now under detention without being charged for terrorism. Either they have been charged, or otherwise they have been released on bail, or they have been discharged from the proceedings. So therefore, there is so much of progress which has taken place. The new law will have several important features. What are those important features? The most important thing is the old law, you could keep somebody under detention for a long period of time until the amendment which was last year, in terms of which for 1 year without the judicial intervention. Under the new law, a maximum period of 60 days will be given. After the 60 days, if you want to detain somebody, a magistrate to sanction. Judicial power had been given to the people. Secondly, who had been detained, even that within 60 days can go to the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeal and challenge that it is not lawful. So that power had been specifically granted. Earlier it was there without the specific nature. Thirdly, within 48 hours of detention, it should be produced before a magistrate. Fourthly, any extension before 6 months should be based on a magistrate order. Thereafter, access had been given to the attorneys at law of the detainees to have access to them, to talk to them and find out what's happening. Then, the most important thing is, no confession is admissible which had been made to a police officer. Only confession which is given to a magistrate in terms of the normal law will be admissible against the accused. So there are so many progressive steps in that. Then of course, we also know within 48 hours must be produced before the magistrate. Access to lawyers only can be detained in places of detention which is identified, not in undisclosed places. So therefore, this is a progressive litigation. This has been done after listening to so many concerns by the civil society, both international and local, and our trade union. As a government which listens to the people, we have taken that into consideration and amended it. So I'm sure this will be gazetted within this week or the next week, the latest. After that, you will have access to that. Once you have access to that, please go through that. Most of your concerns, such as the earlier one, the definition, which some thought will include trade unions and others, have been taken away, and we have given a narrow down specific restriction unless it is directly connected to that definition, which is violence and connected to violence, that cannot be used in this. So all these things have been brought into this. So once it is gazetted, you will have access to this, and thereafter, anybody who is interested can challenge this in Supreme Court. We are willing to listen to the Supreme Court, and if further amendments are required in line with the Supreme Court determination, government is committed to do that restriction.